There is a lot of development regarding the fight against corruption. Some believe that the fight has been politicized. They want to move from the handshake to handcuffs. Of course, that is a quotation from the Amani National Congress leader, Musalia Mudavadi. Some say that the Haji Kinoti onslaught is likely going to be brewing a successful outcome when it comes to what they are putting up as charges against state officials. But what is evident and acknowledged fact is that the country is losing, and to be specific, the finance docket, the treasury, and the country is equally oozing blood of financial mismanagement and economic mishandling by the present government of President Uhuru Kenyatta and the Deputy President William Ruto. Dr. Langat, taking a look or taking stock of what has been happening since 2019. Is this perhaps a near to the end game in terms of getting successful convictions, or are we seeing PR stunt as per the sentiments of Kipchumba Murkomen, the Senate Majority Leader?
So far, I don't see any progress, because the moment you just arrest somebody, and that is it, he gets out of bail, and that is the end of it, it doesn't send a good picture, because we have had a lot of arrests. You remember the Kamata Friday, which was so much. And then we had, there was KPC, there was that's Kenya Pipeline, and then there was Kenya Power. And then all of a sudden, we don't hear anything about that. We just hear that there was a mention, that is it. There was a special prosecutor, that is it. So there is a real zeal in trying to arrest these people. All the dramatization. But now we want conviction. And if you are just taking somebody just to DCI headquarters, and then the next day he's out on bond, and then the next there was no conviction at all, or it doesn't really augur well with the local mwananchi. So we need action. And we need to move from this to that.
So the current onslaught by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions and the DCI, who are all new fresh blood injected into the system by the president, are not enough?
I think it's not enough.
Are they, we would say probably they are enough, but looking at the laws that we have on the land that sort of award some of these people the right to be, sort of out here, because then you're innocent up until that point, you're proven guilty. So in a way, lack of convictions today, would we attribute that to the fact that maybe the laws have curtailed, of course, the hands of the judiciary, the hands of the courts, to a point whereby in as much as you would want to convict, then it becomes very tricky because there is the law that protects these very same individuals?
Thank you very much. I think there was a time I said here that the same law which we are using to convict and even jail a chicken thief in the village down there.
Okay.
It is very, very low that is supposed to be used to convict these big fishes, as they call them. I think what is still happening in the country, I remember telling you people when there was this issue of Aror and Kimware Dam, that we will see a lot of entertainment in terms of kamata and being given bail, cash bail. And these people, they have money because they have stolen from us. Yeah. So giving them even cash bail of 50 million, 1,500, that is a non-issue to them. In fact, some of them, I was watching while I was in my office, some of them were just even smiling because that is just like, to them, it's like a mandazi change to them to do this. Until the day His Excellency, the President, will stop being coward and come out and take action as the CEO of this country, I don't think we'll see any conviction. Because if you ask me, immediately CS Rotich was arrested, Kamau Thuge was arrested the other day. As the president, a treasury cannot have a vacuum.
Both the principal and
the minister. Within a span of time, I saw the economists, people who are dealing with economic issues. They're trying to say that within that short period of arrest, there's some fall down in terms of economic growth in the country within that one day. So as somebody who's serious about the fight against corruption, the first thing, even before welcoming the Botswana president, we could have had him either appointing an AG to act, to request this guy to immediately step aside, so that as the process continues following up these issues of the money lost, we already have a system moving. Take a good example. When Theresa May realized that she's not able to deliver the Brexit for the Britons, you saw how she was bitter, but she had to get out of that office. So until such actions we see in this country, we will be entertained. Even today, you will realize they have arrested somebody. So there's a lot of hogwash to the public, as much as we are thinking that they are fighting against corruption.
So the president has a window of up until Friday. Do you suppose that that's too much time for him? And also looking at the political implications that this would come along with, because remember, for a long time, of course, or maybe the Jubilee members or supporters of I would say, Deputy President William Ruto, or maybe politicians allied to Deputy President William Ruto, have argued that maybe what the DPP has done is a political commanship. For a long time, they've said that maybe this is something that is more of a witch hunt towards, of course, the bid of Deputy President William Ruto, seeing to it that he gets into power come 2022. So there was that aspect where, you know, politics was playing out in this case. So in the event that President Uhuru Kenyatta would have marched in to get a replacement, what would it have sort of spoken, you know, as in terms of dealing with the question of politics right here in the country? Would it be a wise move, or then it will be considered as something that was initially orchestrated and well orchestrated for that matter?
To me, I think there's an issue of, we have to separate administrative and politics. Murkomen is a politician. And you remember even him, there were some issues surrounding him about this Kimorel and Aror Dam. Remember, Murkomen is supporting the other side of the presidency, which is the deputy president. This Aror and Kimorel is found in Marakwet, where I think Murkomen also is a member. So to him, he's seeing politics in this thing. And let's say the reality. First of all, Rotich was appointed by the president, not William Ruto. Right. He was not appointed because he's a Kalenjin or from Rift Valley.
Because he was qualified.
He was appointed because he was qualified. And the moment there's an issue of, as per quoted by the magistrate, that criminal sin in his docket, there's no harm for the president, even if there's a need for parliament to sit and approve whoever is being appointed to act. I think in the laws and the standing orders of the assembly allows parliament to even convene a special sitting, adjourn and convene a special sitting when there's a need, a national need. And this is a national need. A treasury cannot go. In fact, it is a crime, because as we are speaking, we don't know what is now happening in that place.
All right.
So political, yes, there's a lot of politics about it. They're like, oh, we are being targeted. And I always say, sorry, I'm a Christian. In the scripture we are told, sinners are always running without being chased away. So Murkomen is part of them.
Okay.
And we have to get used to for politics.
Okay.
But politics should not go ahead
and
submerge the administrative issues of this country.
All right, politicization is there.
Yeah.
We'll come to that, because there's a lot that is attached or intertwined with the current development in the country. We have seen that unravel before. But before I come to Dr. Langat, allow me to pursue this important element. You, before Linda posed the question, said that the president must stop being coward.
Yes.
What we know is that we have a constitutional democracy, and Kenya is a constitutional democracy. The president has no prosecutional powers.
I don't say about prosecution.
So what exactly do you want to...
What I meant, I'm the president of the nation. I'm the one who has the appointment, appointing authority to appoint CS, cabinet, whatever, and the PS. One of my appointees, somebody who I appointed, already have been accused, handcuffed. Is before the systems of the corridors of justice, seeking to clear his name. Immediately, as the person who values the supreme law of this country, that is a clear communication, and for the president to come out and give, in fact, he should even first address the nation.
Does it then mean that the president has a level of interest?
Just a minute. Treasury is an important sector in this country. In fact, I think it is even in the heart of the president himself.
Right.
And if such thing is happening, he should have come out and tell the nation, first of all, come and address the nation and tell us, my fellow citizen, it has happened this way. But while we are pursuing this and this,
I'm making
this
these
is the decision.
Dr. Nahashon, let's
So
just...
that is what I'm saying. That is why I'm saying
Okay.
the president is coward, because he is making statements that, oh, you remember when he was giving a address of the nation, that any officer
Who is implicated,
Yes.
mentioned.
who is mentioned,
aside.
should step
resign.
aside. That is a clear indication that he has the powers.